So this is the pump I purchased when I decided to purchase and ride with an electric air pump. For the most part, it works reliably. It has one major flaw, and that is that when I go to pump the front tires, which have to pump to or inflate to 32 psi, it always inflates to 33. I don't know why. The rear tire, which should inflate to 36 psi, inflates correctly to 36. So I'm just not sure why the front tire won't stop at 32. At some level, right, these are all recommendations for PSI, so I have never been that concerned about riding the bike with the front tire inflated to 33 PSI rather than 32. But I decided that I needed to get a more reliable air pump. Okay, so out with the old, in with the new. So this is the new air pump I purchased, the Airmoto Smart Air Pump. I've seen the ads on Instagram and on Facebook, so I thought I'd give it a shot. So here is my unboxing video. Okay, it's got a clear protective cover. Nice, I mean, it makes it look very professional, probably useless. I've got the instruction manual here. As you know, if you've watched any of my unboxing and first use videos, I'm not going to look at that right now. I'm just going to see if I can figure out how the air pump works without the instruction manual. So let's take the pump out of the box. There's a clear plastic protective cover over the screen. There is a notice saying I should pull the air hose there. So we've got the pump and the air hose. And that's what I've got so far. Let's see, there's another section of this packaging, so let's see what's in here. So the box can now go away. So there is a carrying case, which is nice. Actually a little bit nicer. So this one, the one that came with my old air pump, is like a felt. This is more of a nylon. This actually seems like it might be waterproof. The problem with this one is, as you can see, it picks up all the dirt and grime and everything, but it's not a bad carrying case for my old air pump. If I was into Dungeons and Dragons or wizardry or something like that, I would probably love this as a pouch to carry my Dungeons and Dragons gear in. But this is a sufficiently nice holder. Then we've got a little bag here. Inside of the little bag, we've got a USB-C adapter. We've got a inflator for sports balls. Another type of inflator, not sure what this is for. And then an inflator that you could use for like a yoga ball or something like that. Comparing the two pumps, the Airmoto is smaller, which is definitely nice when you're carrying it in your saddlebag. In terms of the controls, these are fairly clearly marked with an on, a unit, and a plus and minus. On here I can see the on switch. I'm not sure how I would change I see a U at the top for probably unit, and then left and right is plus or minus, and I don't know what that switch or button is at the bottom. Oh, is it a light? It could be a light. In terms of connecting the air hose, this actually is a more substantial air hose, which I like. The one from my other pump was much tinier, so I like the more substantial feel. And it screws in tight. On this one, when you put it in, it never seems to really get that tight. It always spins. The one thing that I will note is that this comes with a traditional quick release tire attachment, and this one looks like it's maybe a screw-on. Given the how tight it can be on the motorcycle between the disc brakes and the valve, this could be more difficult to use. Let's see. Okay, let's power this on. Okay, I'll hold it longer. Now it says on. Okay, it's got 38 PSI. Let's take it down to 32. Oh, so the bottom one changes the type. So you'll see up here it now has basketball. It's got human. I'm not sure why I'd need to inflate a human. A car, motorcycle, bicycle, and basketball. So that's kind of nice. Perhaps the human setting is not about inflating a human, but maybe manual. I don't know. It goes to 100. I'm not sure. I guess maybe that filler tube could be used for humans. Anyhow, I've got a motorcycle, so I'm going to leave it at motorcycle. It is set to 40 right now, which is too high. So I'm going to take it down to 32. Okay, let's go see what it says about my front tire. Okay, let's get the valve stem cover off. Well, this tube is very flexible. So I am able to flex it and get it to attach. You'll see it says it's set to inflate to 32. It's reading my front tire at 30, which I would have expected since I have not inflated it in a while. And now, I wonder if this is the inflate button. No, oh, that's an air release. That's kind of nice. So on the side here, there's a small recessed button that actually gives you an air release. Okay, so it's on PSI. I'm gonna unplug it. I just hit the power button, just tap the power button. Well, the good news is that this says it has stopped at 32 psi, which is where I wanted it. So as you can see, I struggled a little bit with the release. Like I said, that the distance here is fairly narrow. You know, that might be, like 3 inches. Even though that is flexible, there is some tension on it when you have it bent enough to fit through. So it did make the release slow, but it did have a small tolerance for when the valve resealed itself, so I didn't lose a lot of air taking it off. Okay, have the motorcycle up on the center stand, which will help with the rear tire inflation. I'm doing it from the chain side. It gives me a little bit more space over the disc brake side for fitting the filler tube on. Okay, well, interestingly, it's showing my rear tire is right now overinflated, so I'm going to take a little bit of air out of that. It does take a second for the valve to reread. So let's take the air down a little ways and we'll fill it back up. Let's go a little bit more. Okay, it timed out while I was doing that. So it's 34.5 is what it's reading. I'm now going to increase the pressure to 36. Okay. Again, it shuts off, still reading 36 psi. I never had problems on the rear wheel with the other air pump. Overall impressions, really very positive. As far as the pump goes, it's very solid. I like the release here for letting some air out. That's actually very nice. The other pump I had did not have that. The USB-C connector is on the top, which is nice. I like the fact I like the fact that my filler tube stores inside the pump. On the other one, it was just loose in the bag. But this is actually a clean design. So, yeah, overall, I would say that the Airmoto Smart Air Pump, you know, is sufficient for inflating your tires. And really, I mean, you don't really need a lot of, special features to make that happen. So, as far as my old air pump, I'm definitely going to keep it. I mean, it still works. It, you know, aside from overinflating the front tire to 33 psi, it does fine at 36 psi on the rear tire. I'll probably leave it at the house in case, you know, when I'm traveling or something, I lose my new pump. At least I'll have a backup while I'm ordering another Airmoto. I don't remember how much the Airmoto cost. I'll look that up for you and I'll post it in the video description. But if you're looking for a portable electric air pump for your car, your bike, your motorcycle, you know, I would say the Airmoto is actually a decent pump.